Yaramashoya Mahini. Peter, I trusted you with my sons. I trusted you with my little ones. And as those that are waking up as the bride, you meant to shut out because they shine brighter than you. So you brought fear into the camps and are now being judged by your own mouth. For my son, a son of Issachar, prophesied to you about trees, and you took that as controlling when it was a test for you. You took it as all for you when it was a test for you. So then when he prophesied again, because his prophet, his father, asked him to prophesy for you, to bless you, to bring righteous judgment upon you. And he used his gift for the kingdom. To be another witness to you. He wasn't coerced. He wasn't guided by his father. But I, says Yah, gave him that message the way I show it to him. Book, chapter, and verse. He didn't know what he was saying. He just gets book, chapter, and verse. And he gave it to you as a prophet of mine, says Yah. And you told my little prophet, big prophet, to turn it against your enemy instead. For you don't know who your enemy is. For your enemy is the Mashiach himself. I find vessels to work through, willing vessels, like who you call Jerry. And I work through them. I possess them to say and do what I ask them to do. And so I say, it is time now that the trees that are cut down because they refuse to bow down to the truth, that I raise up fools that I could speak through and live in. That those who gave their lives to me can become my bride, and my bride gets to rule the earth. Washimario Horiamatoya Shanim Hiritimia Sonim. For she is given the keys. to his heart. So any and all going against the true Levites, the true Cohen of this world, will be burned by that exact fire that they hold. And may they be exposed and burned up in ashes under the feet. And maybe they could become beauty from those ashes when they realize that all kingdoms come under my kingdom. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Whatever they do to me, they can do to me. I love you. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to say those things. It's hard for me. It's not me. It's not me. It's you. I give myself to you. I give myself to you. I will tear down all mountains that rise up against my children. For even by their twisted laws, they will be judged. Even by their twisted laws, they'll be judged. Because they changed men's laws. And by their own laws, they're going to be destroyed. For it hurts the Father's heart too much. Too much. For those that he loved the most, hurt him the most. And they try to harm the little children out of their pride. They try to destroy every prophet, every gift in the land out of pride. If they can't control it under their kingdom, then they're not welcome. And that's not the Father's kingdom, how he's bringing it. See, it doesn't look like any worldly kingdom. It's not like you pick your quarterback. See, in his kingdom, isn't about actively recruiting. I am more here to rule out than recruit. Very few can handle the fire, and those who are humble enough will receive, and those who won't. Thank you, Father. Your kingdom come, and your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. No more will the Father allow these false fathers and rabbis and teachers, pastors, lead the children astray. For all kingdoms must bow down to the Mashiach. All must come into the truth that my laws matter. But even with your twisted laws, you will judge yourselves because you are judging outside of Torah. Torah is my given word. All else is commentary. All else shows us how people have reached it, how people manifested it, what the true show of love is, laying your life down for a friend. Not just those who can help you and make you feel good about yourself. But those that are here to build the kingdom for the Father's love. And not having any other rabbi make them sign here and be under my contract. For if my sons signed that contract, they would have been in witchcraft. They would have signed into witchcraft. Did you not see how angry my son got? That was my anger in him. And you turned it into something else. And he says the word rabbi. See, I'm building a kingdom of kings. And as they wake up, they become the king that they were created to be, and the light that they were created to house. Ah, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Abba. It's time for his kingdom to be made known. And that his head is no longer the tail. For I will find from the bottom to build my kingdom. I will find from my bottom to build my kingdom. Father, forgive me if I'm saying anything wrong. I'm just a man. Just a man. Correct me if I'm doing anything wrong, Yahuwah. Correct me now. I love you. I want to be with you. And nothing else. I just want to Shabbat Shalom with you in your house. There's nothing else compares than being with you. In your presence. I'll take it anywhere you want. Take it anywhere you want. Forgive me of any pride I have, Father. Any of this ego. You lit the fire in me, Mendy One, and you've been raging in me ever since. And I shut you down, and shut you down, because nobody liked it. No more. No more. I won't shut you down anymore. You can live in me. You can roar in me. I'm yours. I'm yours. People need to understand how this kingdom is coming. It's out of the heart. And we are judged by our own mouths. Crazy thing is, he teaches me all the time through my family, everything of how he feels. Sometimes I'll yell at Ephraim to try to get out of the world and look back at the Father's business and look at his gifts that he has and how important it is for the Father's business that he offers his gift. But he's really enticed by the world. Smell and sight and all the senses. Thank you, Father. Is this a new thing? Is this a new thing? You know what they're going to say about me? The Torah. Left hand, receive the Torah. And you can rule with your right hand. This fly keeps coming and talking to me. Smell and see and hear what the Spirit of Zion brings with the light. And receive and give. Oh, they're really going to call me crazy now, Father. I see. Yes, Father. May they be afraid. For those that have eyes to see will see, and those who have not won't. Thank you, Father. The left knee. Is that spica? Something to do with the stars. Or the legs. The left shoulder. What part of the temple is that? The silver. The crown and smell. The right leg. It's about bringing these two sticks together. It's about the two loaves becoming one under the Passover sacrifice. That's what I'm seeing. Oh, that's amazing because a raven fed Elijah. And anyway, and people think he was Jewish. Anyway, Father, thank you. Thank you for how you teach us. You use all things to teach us. Yes, all things are for you. But the crown? What about the crown? The left leg. Is that the queen? Is that Ephraim? I gotta find out from the woman in Revelations which one's Spica, which one's this, because he taught me all about that. One's the Jews and one's the Ephraim, the lost tribes. Oh, I can't believe this. That's why he's telling me all life is special. Don't look at killing something because it seems gross to you. Or that you don't understand all life was created with purpose. And it's so funny because everything I get mad at my son about is actually realizing it's him with me. Because my son is so much like me. And so I'm yelling at myself. And I know it, he knows it. I tell him all the time. I'm like, that's me. I'm yelling because I know. But it helps him too. And it helps me. And what you think is not love is actually perfect father love. Of, hey, I'll come, nice words. If not, I'll come with you with a stick of law. I don't beat my children, so don't even think about going there. But I do yell sometimes. My whole emotional body just gets on fire. Basically, it comes out, it's the heart. It's the Father's heart. And feeling the Father's heart, you feel the pain of if your child doesn't listen to your rules in the house, which are his rules. He's all talking through me. What happens? It causes separation in the house. It causes fighting. It causes whatever. So it is so important that we're all situated around the Father's heart. And the Father's heart is the Levites. Levi is his heart. So those willing to sacrifice themselves and those willing to be Cohen, serve. We're constantly serving because we're taking the prayers to the Father, and the Father is giving us our prayers, and we're supposed to be giving to the children. We're a conduit of him through the heart. That's all we are, is conduits of him. We're vessels. We're channelers. Hello, channelers. Ooh, he's talking New Age concepts. Okay, let's change it to, let's make it all Christianese. What's a good Christianese word to say? The Spirit of the Lord? Oh, didn't they find out Lord means something not right? I mean, by the Spirit of Baal, you've been saying? If people only understood. Everything's him. Everything. Everything's a test. And you have to go through your fears with him. It's all a test. That's the faith of Abraham, right? Not telling people to go to offer their children. Although it really doesn't make any difference whether your child was a baby that you didn't get to know and you killed it then, you were killing its future as well, because it was created to be something. So all of these things that have happened on this earth have created an evil, a lawlessness on this earth that has caused problems. And he speaks to me through all these things, all my experiences. He speaks to me. Like Daniel was hired to do a job from the outside. Basically, he was going to come here. I was going to pay for his expenses and whatever, help him. It wasn't really a legal employment kind of thing. But he says, hey, I know how to chop the palm trees that you're having a problem with, or like we don't really have money and this and that, and I really, we have to be very careful. And he came, and we ended up having to buy this and buy that and buy this and buy that, and it was like, it was always a problem. Like, should we just watch a video? I think you can use it with a box cutter. And I saw a video doing it that way. No. And he's out there and he's got, no, I need a sharper, bigger knife. And we bought all these blades. I mean, I spent hundreds of dollars watching him sweating and beating at this tree, and he can't make it all the way up, and he can't do this, and he can't. And he's like, I'm getting really scared for him now. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do now? It's like we already kind of committed, to help. And it was all to help his family too, and for me to be able to judge him. And now I'm just telling me what's been happening about the trees. See, I'm supposed to check people's fruit. It's their garment. See, what you think is evil and anger in me is actually the Father's heart being expressed in me, because he hates the evil going on in the world. And he gets angry at the leaders that lead the children astray. So I'm here to share with you, and so you to understand him personally, to hear and do, and not listen to man that'll bring you in a constant state of fear. And when you hear and do, guess what happens? The kingdom's automatically just being built by itself. You just hear and do, and it just builds itself through servanthood of the master, which is him. Now Evan here, Na'ar, through listening to him, has become a servant in the kingdom. And therefore, and he's blessed. And now, because of him, I get to understand the great love and the relationship and the respect he has for the one that says, I'm willing to be your servant, and not only for 7 years, but forever. That he believes that much, and it's because of his faith that he's being blessed. And it is showing me about the kingdom for him. Because I am that to him. And that's what I have to be to him. But see, I realize now is people think they're going to gather as many people for their kingdom as possible. That's not how this is working. Only few find the road, the narrow derech, the narrow road, the way, the truth, and the life. It's literally picking up your cross and following him and not listening to man anymore. And this is where they have everybody, is under the fear of, oh, if my sheep come out of my flock over here, and well, if they hear the Father's call, they hear his voice, of course they should come. I mean, that's what's happening. Is true sheep can hear my voice. True sheep can hear his voice. True sheep have had dreams already. True sheep know. They feel. Many people call me and they say they felt something down here, and they felt something here, like an explosion in their heart, and all kinds of things. I just, a couple days ago, God, he said he was feeling something down here, and it's, these people have been called all kinds of things because they're sensitives and they can't handle the world like normal people can because they're not of this world. They're in it, but they're not of it. So he made his hidden stones. His hidden. That's what he used to call me, his hidden one. But like my son, my little prophet, prophesied to me. He said, a city on a hill can't be hidden, Dad. Remember when you taught that to me? And I said, no. But little did I know that he was going to give me, like a slot machine, book, chapter, and verse. I have several verses. When we were going to leave here and go to Greece, because we knew the trouble that is coming to America. But it's prayers of people have all of our prayers. I prayed too, but I just know the end. But people with powerful prayers prayed. And yes, he bought us a chance with Trump. He was to be a trumpeter, yes. And now is the time. Now is the time that the world splits up and his true Zion rises up and takes their position. The people that love him, that will hear and do. And to do that, many of us just have to become servants to each other. Because truly the 144,000 are of servants of his, as his bride. Do you not choose to be a servant? As a bride, are you not under your husband's authority, spiritually speaking? And physically. We've been so fooled by this world. But everybody has free will. Everybody. Just like today, I told my wife, anytime it's, I'm too much, but I have to let him live in the house. I told my wife, let me know and I'll leave at any time if I ever offend. Because she knows always at the end, I end up being right. It's not easy, and it doesn't make it any easier, like she's not going to feel the the emotions of being talked to that way. But this is how the kingdom comes. The Father gets angry. He feels. And when people won't hear one way, another way, he'll finally yell. And then he sends problems on this earth. And that's what this is about. So I can understand what the bride is like. So I can understand what Yehuda is like. So I can understand what Ephraim is like. And so, man, I can understand what the grafted in ones are like. There's a same love, which is his love for all, but there's a different love for each. Do you think that the one that is grafted in, the one that wants to spend all of his time and be the servant, do you think that one is going to, which one's going to be closer? He has love for his natural sons, is what he made him for. But here a servant is like a son. Because he's willing to be there for every single thing. He's given his life up and grafted himself in. And he becomes as just one of the other, as one of the family. But Ephraim has a pride of feeling higher than the roots. And we can't. Because the Father has a love for all of his children. And he loves his roots, Yehuda. And we are supposed to go back to our roots. Find the true ones that will see the truth. These, and gather with them. There are very few and far between. And because you're afraid of not being in a place of power, you don't gather with the small ones like us. And that's the big test. See, we're living, he told me, in the center of the fire. The center of it, that translucent part, he says, that's where you live. That's where you're going to live. Little did I know why, when he took me out to share with me what his kingdom looked like. And I literally believe I saw a pyramid. Little did I know that I was part of inhabiting that. And he showed me things that are in real physical life today and that are part of this. It's all spiritual kingdom. In the heavens, something's been built out of those who are in charge of the earth. And it literally was. He built it from the evil up. He used the fallen angels to build something for his children to house. And then all kingdoms must come under his kingdom of his children. His 144,000 that he's going to marry. And so all these spirits, what happens is when we give ourselves to the Messiah, he literally inhabits us, and all that inhabit him inhabits us. And that's why it says when two or more are gathered, when there's two, we become like the angels. And then he is a third one in between us. That's where the love, that's where we can experience love between all people throughout the earth. But we're literally living in a matrix of this fake land, and we're telling each other to have a good mourning, a good crying out, we're cursing each other. So now we have to, everybody brings their peace. Everybody brings their peace. And see, all I'm supposed to do with my peace is to share when I'm getting there, and it basically wakes up these time capsules of literally angels that are hidden in disguise in this world. And they know I'm looking for the ones that have a fire inside of them that can't fathom the Father's heart being harmed anymore. That fire is inside of them that they're willing to fight. Say, no, I will not allow this pig on the altar. No, I will not allow this Colosseum to distract from the Father's temple. No, we will not allow this pagan idol in the land. That's what it's taking now. That's just for his bride. It's his warring bride. Those people already know who they are. I'm just trying to find them and have them come and be put in their place, either on the pedestal or on, But I'm here to judge hearts. And yes, only the king can do that. And yes, that's what I'm saying. He lives in me, you see? So, all I can do is go along for the ride because he does everything he tells me he's going to do. That's why I knew that lamb was all him. Even how much of the lamb was burned off or cut off. It's all him. And thank you, Father. That's what's coming. That's how it is. It's those who can house me, he says, the most. Who can house the fire, who can get closest to the fire. You see, he's been teaching me Kabbalah since the 80s and not even knowing it. And that's why I could never sit anything very long. He just wanted me to learn one aspect of something and then go on. It was him teaching me as a unhewn stone of the altar. Like a diamond. He makes us go through lots of pressure and death of the flesh. But then that diamond can cut anything. That diamond can cut. And anything that tries to go against it gets shattered. Because that's how he chooses his children. And it takes time and pressure and a lot of testing. And it's essentially becoming a pillar in his temple, which is just a portal of light. It's a frequency. Oh, yes. May the judgment come upon you too. For you judge the frequencies as evil. You judge his tree of life as evil. You don't know what you're judging. So that's why I'm here to test people with these words. I know what I'm doing. And yes, Peter, he doesn't always play fair. That's why you got to be sneaky, wise as a serpent, and understand who the king is and where he's working through. And only do what you see the Father doing. But you took the reins and ran and started leading the children astray. This is a picture of the Catholic Church as well. This is all going down as the foundation, as the rock. And you had power for a season to build something. But if you don't seize the power to his leaders, whom he chooses, through power and miracles and signs and wonders, and you haven't seen them yet? No, you've documented all of yours though. Well, I'm hoping that's why I have Stone here, praise God, because I can't even write anything down, it hurts too much. And so I forget him all the time. But Stone gets to live through him every single day. And then he goes out and he finds who I am in writings all over the place. Yes, Jerusalem syndrome on steroids. Yeah. Let's see what happens.